Oh, thank you for staying with us. This week, the crisis in Rivers State not only continued, but also took a turn. Governor Simi Fubara released the 800 billion 2024 budget to the 4 out of 31 lawmakers believed to be loyal to him at the government house in Port Harcourt. Few minutes after the demolition of the House of Assembly complex, the All Progressive Congress APC has condemned this move, stating it was unconstitutional. During the course of the week, over 10 commissioners in the state resigned their appointment in the administration of Fubara. Joining me to discuss this via Zoom is Marvin Yubana, political affairs analyst. Good evening and welcome to the show. Mr. Marvin, good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get into it. Considering that just 4 persons cannot form a House of Assembly quorum, is this not a mockery of lawmaking?
Well, like you know, and like the law states clearly, the 25 members who already defected to the All Progressive Congress by the letters and by the affidavit they swore have already vacated their seats. And as we speak today, we cannot talk about issue of quorum because those who are legally recognized by the last court judgment are these other 4 or 5 lawmakers as we may have it. And definitely the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly as we speak today is Right Honorable Edison Ehie. These lawmakers who already vacated their seats are not part of that this sitting. So it is legal for the what they are doing is not legal because the law recognizes them and they have actually acted by the law.
All right, Mr. Marvin. Also, you know, some people believe the National Assembly should right now take over the functions of the Rivers State House of Assembly. I don't know if you agree with such advocacy or something.
Well, the law is very clear. If there is no House of Assembly in function, or if there is division in such a way that the Assembly cannot function. But as we speak today, the Assembly is functioning. They've carried out their legitimate job. They have passed bills. They have also law preparation law, which the budget which the governor presented to them, they passed it, and the governor has signed it into law. So as we speak today, the Rivers State House of Assembly is functioning. You know, so because this is a house that is supposed to respect whatever the judiciary says. And as a legislative arm of government, their duty is to make laws for the good running and well-being of the people of the state. So if the judiciary gives a valid judgment, a court of competent jurisdiction gives a valid judgment, it behoves on the lawmakers to obey the law. That is why we are all law-abiding citizens of this country. Otherwise, there will be anarchy. So I don't see any reason for the National Assembly to take up the functions of the State House of Assembly because the State House of Assembly is fully functional. And let us not forget that the People's Democratic Party has already communicated to INEC to conduct elections to fill these 25 other lawmakers who already vacated their seats and moved to another party. You know that the law is very clear. The Section 109 sub G, and what it says clearly about any lawmaker that vacates, moves from one political party that elected him to another party. Automatically, the law is clear, and the Constitution of Nigeria is the grand norm, which we all adhere to and we respect. So it is very clear that what they are doing is lawful, and that the National Assembly has no locus in this matter to take over the runnings of the River State House of Assembly.
All right, this issue, since it started, has a lot of conversation, in different angles, and one of it is the issue of godfatherism. I want to have your take on this idea of godfatherism in Nigerian politics. Is it a blessing or a curse?
Because elites procured judgment that they intend to deliver tomorrow. We just saw that on the social media and everything, and this is something that it's something that those persons responsible for such things are supposed to be held liable, because we cannot make mockery of our judicial system or make mockery of our legislative arm of government. So I don't understand what godfatherism. There's just one governor in the state that the people elected. We didn't elect two people. It's just one person. The governor, Fubara, is the person we elected under the political party of PDP. So we only know him as the governor. We don't know any god.
All right, I have someone joining me in the studio, Justice Ojeno, and during the course of this conversation, a lot has happened in this River State crisis, and one of it is one of the angle people are looking at is the godfatherism thing. And I don't know what you think about it. I don't know if you think it's a blessing or a curse so far, looking at how this has panned out.
Okay, for me, I think that it's a mixed one. The thing is, as much as possible, persons who are well-minded, who are well-intentioned, once they want to leave the office, they can point to the electorate and say, I think that this person will be able to succeed me, or will be able to also move the state forward. They don't let fall into the hands of vultures. So that is good for politics. It's not just in Nigeria, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. People, to a large extent, contribute to who emerges as their successors. So I don't think it's a bad one. But of course, when a person now, for a godfather or a person that is being succeeded, now tries to overreach and tries to practically control every lever of power, which I don't exactly think is the situation in this case, then that is wrong. I heard the former guest actually say something like, the legislators, their seats are vacant. No, it is for the court to decide that. The legislators didn't resign their seats. They actually changed their party because by their own interpretation, they feel that there is enough turmoil in PDP to occasion them to change their parties. So it is for the court eventually to decide whether their action, whatever it is that is happening in PDP is turbulent enough to actually allow them be able to cross carpet. If the court answers that question in the affirmative, then it means that they will lose their seat. But if the court answers that question in the negative, it means that they will still be holding their seat. So as much as possible, every interpretation that we give to whatever it is that is happening, we should leave it for the courts eventually to make the call.
I'm told Mr. Marvin Yubana is back. Speaking of the courts having to decide, I don't know if you see this matter heading all the way to Supreme Court, Mr. Yubana.
Well, you know that the Supreme Court has held this, have delivered judgment in these similar cases like this before. And the Supreme Court is very clear. Supreme Court affirmed what the Constitution said in sections 109, sub G. It said it very clearly. And it affirmed that it is not the individual that stands for an election. It is the political party that is being voted for. So as an individual, you cannot put yourself forward because you don't have what we call what do you call it? These candidates that run alone. you must run under the platform of a political party. So once you jump ship as a legislator, immediately you must lose your seat automatically. And the processes have been followed. The authentic Speaker of the Rivers State has declared their seat vacant. The parties have taken further steps in communicating to INEC. The INEC should prepare the grounds for election to hold. So these are clear facts. What interpretation do you expect the court to make any further? So I think that what is happening in Rivers State is a clear case testing democracy. And that is it. And those who have the resolve to protect democracy are these lawmakers who have stayed put back in the parties that they were elected on. So these other ones who decided to jump ship because they have one godfather somewhere, they know what they are chasing and what is chasing them from the party. So since they decided to abandon the votes that were given to them by the electorate, we don't have to go and beg them to come and take back the votes. They have lost it. Even if they reverse themselves, they have lost it already. And I think that this case will drag up to the Supreme Court if they want to. But the Supreme Court will not repeat itself because it has taken a firm decision on that. In the case of Cross River, it also happened in the was it Edo State and Ondo also. So well, there are precedents for these things already, and it is clear. And senior members of the Silk have already mentioned, they've heard their opinions on this and said it's a violation of the oath and the affidavit they swore to, and that they job ship and they've abandoned their job, and it's very clear. So we don't need to belittle it that we have 5 members, 4 members. Whoever remains legally in the River State House of Assembly is a bona fide member, and they can carry out the act of lawmaking in the State House of Assembly. That is what the law says. It's clear.
I mean, Mr. Marvin, another question people are asking is the interest of people. Where does the interest of people come in here? Because it looks like the whole fight, if you hear the sides of this whole story, you won't see, it's as if they're not thinking about the people. How do we manage this? How do we, return calm to River State?
That is why the president, in his magnanimity, called the governor of the state.
But the president has intervened in the first time, and it seems not to have yielded any results. What would you have him do?
Yes, what Mr. President has done his best. If you employ somebody and the person is causing crisis for you, the president knows what to do, because the insinuation in River State is that the president is the one that is asking the honorable minister to cause the crisis in River State. And we don't think that Mr. President, being a father, can do that. And that is the insinuation. So the president has given instruction and has advised the honorable minister. The honorable minister keeps going.
Mr. Yubano, all right. Let's take a short break, and Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us.